Hey Ben, welcome to the programme.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
Let's talk about a host of trailers for some forthcoming blockbusters.
There's some really big trailers here. We've got the final trailer for Justice League, which it looks epic. It looks really cool. I don't know if you heard about this, but Zack Snyder stepped away from production after a family tragedy, but his replacement was Avengers director Joss Whedon. So they've reshot a bunch of it, and it looks a lot more fun, a lot brighter.
Oh, awesome. As a bat signal, that's your... Oh, sorry. That's your signal. That means we have to go now.
Yeah, that's what that means.
It's so cool.
It looks very contradictory to the other films in the DC canon so far because it looks fun.
Let's hope then that they carry on with the kind of Wonder Woman style.
Yeah, because I think after the success of Wonder Woman, they've shifted focus a lot more, because if you look at the previous trailers, they've really amped up her exposure.
Shall we?
Pacific Rim then.
Did you watch the last Pacific Rim?
Oh, it was so boring so tedious. No, it was so... what's the word I'm looking for?
It delivered on its promise. That was giant robots fighting giant monsters, and that was the only thing it could really do.
Throwaway.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I like Guillermo del Toro. I think he's a great director, but he's not directing this one. It's Stephen S. DeKnight who showran stuff like Spartacus. He's all right. He showran like the first season of Daredevil, I think. But this follows Idris Elba's character's son, so this should be okay. I mean, it looks like Power Rangers crossed with Voltron. It looks. Yeah. I'm not overly excited for this.
No. Fast and Furious 9, that's been pushed back to 2020. The rumours that the fallout has continued between The Rock and Vin Diesel may have led to this being pushed back, but that's not necessarily the case, is it?
No, I don't think so, but I think it's sort of because The Rock and Jason Statham, that's who the spin-off is going to follow. They were great in Fast and Furious 8.
Do you really believe you could beat me in a straight-up old-fashioned fistfight?
Let me tell you something. Me and you, one-on-one, no one else around. I will beat your ass like a Cherokee drum.
But I think this feud is kind of spread throughout La Familia, that is the Fast and Furious cast, because Tyrese Gibson put out quite a scathing Instagram post. It's too long to read, but it's he's not happy.
Okay, we've got a reboot of The Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, this is a sequel to The Mummy. This is part of the Dark Universe.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's been pushed back though, and I've got written here it's probably going to be cancelled after The Mummy, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was really bad. I really didn't like it.
Jenny! Run!
But it's been the release date of February 14th, 2019 has been replaced by another Blumhouse Productions horror film, which I think is also going to be part of the Dark Universe, because Blumhouse are doing things like Creature from the Black Lagoon on a low budget, which is less of a swing.
I'm noticing a theme to the movie news this week that there doesn't actually appear to be any original films. They're either follow-ups or spin-offs, and we have Fantastic Beasts as well.
Yeah, Fantastic Beasts 2 has added new characters. One interesting name came up amongst the lot was Nicholas Flamel, who Harry Potter fans may know was mentioned in The Philosopher's Stone, who actually was the philosopher. And he said he's going to be a close ally of Albus Dumbledore in this film, who we know is going to be played by Jude Law.
And finally, news of the film Gambit.
Gambit, yeah, that's had a very stop-start production. Originally, it had Rupert Wyatt directing. Then he dropped out and was replaced by Doug Liman. Now Gore Verbinski, who directed The Weatherman, a film last year called The Cure for Wellness that was not well received. But he is in early talks to direct Gambit, with Channing Tatum still to star, and Daniel Craig is rumoured for the villain's role, Mr. Sinister. But also, the one kind of shade of light from this, Gore Verbinski did direct at least the first Pirates of the Caribbean film.
Let's move on to the new releases for this weekend. And it's a big week for horror fans.
Yeah, we've got Leatherface, which is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing. This is starring Finn Jones from Iron Fist, Stephen Dorff, and Nicole Andrews.
I don't know whether this suggests it's a good film because Stephen Dorff is in it, or that suggests how Stephen Dorff's career has kind of ground to a halt.
Blade was a long time ago.
Amityville, The Awakening.
Yeah, starring Jennifer Jason Leigh, Bella Thorne, and McKenna Grace. This film was completed in 2015 and has only seen a release in 2017. What does that say?
Indeed, and yet another Amityville
sequel, reboot, as is the case of this week, as is the general theme of this week, I think.
I mean, the fact that the entire Amityville horror story got debunked as being a fraud.
Yeah.
I don't know how they can carry on milking it. The Snowman.
The Snowman, starring Michael Fassbender, Rebecca Ferguson, and Chloe Sevigny.
This is not a sequel to the Ala Jones song.
GMTV presenter Ala Jones.
Who are you?
I don't know. Who am I?
I don't know.
Loving Vincent, what's this about?
So this is a feature film about the life and mysterious death of Vincent van Gogh, but this is a film that's completely done with oil paintings in the style of Vincent van Gogh, which is so what they did was they had the actors on a green screen with different reference points taped onto their bodies, and then they took the footage and then completely overlaid it with all these different programs that all these artists came up with, and it looks spectacular.
Okay, sounds interesting, I guess. The big one this week is the latest starring Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Six Below, Miracle on the Mountain, starring Josh Hartnett, Mira Sorvino, Sarah Dumont, and Jason Cottle.
Blade Runner 2049. It hasn't been doing well at the US box office, but you went to see it this week.
Yeah, I did. I guess with the US box office thing, it is like the first one where it didn't do that well, but it's sort of a cult classic. I think the same with this one. This is a beautifully directed film. It is a really interesting look, because it's not an action movie. That people should know that it's not all explosions and chases, but it's basically a noir thriller with robots, and it is a really interesting look. It's like Drive. It is like sci-fi version of Drive, because Ryan Gosling's in it.
All right, that is it for this week.
Ride ain't over yet.
My man.